What's good with y'all? Today I'm going to be telling you why I think 2K20 is the best 2K of all time. I broke up my explanation into 5 sections and gave y'all some reasons why I think 2K20 is the GOAT. But before we get into it, I just ask that you come into this video with an open mind and that you be honest with yourself. So all you 2K16 meat riders, just chill and hear me out for a second. Here we go. So first off, we got the gameplay. In my opinion, 2K20 had the best gameplay out of any 2K ever created. 2K20 had the most balanced gameplay on both sides of the ball. Just as much as the offense had a chance to score, the defense had a chance to stop them. So most of the time, the team with the most skill would win. Notice I said most of the time because of course some BS would happen occasionally, bruh, it's 2K. But for the most part, it was pretty fair and nothing in the game was insanely overpowered. Shooting required skill and consistent timing. A lot of people say that shooting on 2K20 was easy, but it's not that it was easy. It's that they kept the shooting consistent and didn't have 100 different timings for every shot like they do now. So if you played the game frequently, then of course you were going to be automatic. Shooting was mostly green or miss, which added the skill aspect, and there were no Zens at all. In fact, 2K20 was like the last year where there was no Zens or any real cheating going on. Everybody for the most part was just chilling and playing the game how it was supposed to be played. So if you lost the game 21-zip, you most likely were trash or just nowhere near as good as the dude you were playing. There weren't that many glitchy moves besides the behind the back and the hop step, which both got patched, and the dribbling was good. I've never really heard any complaints about 20's dribbling. All in all, the gameplay was really solid and balanced, and most of your success in this game relied on how skilled you were, which is how 2K games should be. At number 2, we got the park. The neighborhood was a really good park. It wasn't too big, everything was close to each other, and besides my dog Spinelli, there weren't any random NPCs walking around causing us to lag. And yeah, the neighborhood in its normal form was pretty basic, but it didn't have to be that flashy to be good. Plus, there were events like every week where they would change the entire look of the park, and them joints was fire. And since 2K gave us the city, a lot of people have been asking for the neighborhood back because they're not trying to drive from place to place. They made everything a little too far apart, bro. Like, there's no point of using the go-kart or the skateboard, bro. Everyone just uses the subway. I don't really gotta say too much about this. It's just crazy to me how people really be sleeping on 2K20's park like it was bad or something. Like, tighten up, bro. At number 3, we got the grind. 2K20 might have been the last 2K where you could actually play the game without being forced to buy VC. If you currently play 2K, you know that it's impossible to play this game and not buy VC. Like, there's no more grinding to 99, no money spent, cause you barely get any VC from my career. Endorsements used to give you like 10 to 15,000 VC. Now they only give you 1. They lessened the opportunities to get VC and made upgrading your player more expensive. So if you try to get to 99 overall without buying VC, you're gonna be there for a very long time. And the amount of time that it's gonna take for you to get to 99 without buying VC isn't worth it. You would be slaving playing my career all day like it's a full-time job. In 2K20, you didn't have to buy VC because of all the opportunities you had to earn it. I had like 8 builds on 2K20 and I spent no money on VC. All my VC came from the park in my career and it didn't take me that long to max out my builds. Another reason why 2K20 is on top. Reason number 4 is the community. At this point in time, the community as a whole felt vibrant and all the 2K content creators that we grew up watching actually liked the game and gladly made videos about it. People like Ty Cino, G-Man, Joe Knows, Duke Dennis, and a bunch more were all making great content consistently that was fun to watch and made us all hype about the game. All the crazy build videos, wagers, and live streams while being in quarantine made everything that much more exciting. Plus, the fact that we were all at home on the game because we had nothing else better to do, the park was always jumping. Occasionally, you'd have to switch parks a few times just to get a game. Playing the game with the boys while we were all stuck in the crib was a time in our lives that we will never forget. And for a lot of us, that was the last time we played the game consistently with our boys before life took over. Some of the most fun we've ever had. And 2K20 wasn't carried by quarantine. The game was just fun to play and that's why everybody was on it. You had NBA players in the bubble pulling up on YouTubers at the park because of how much hype this game had. If 2K20 was trash, we could have played Fortnite, Madden, or Call of Duty. We weren't forced to play. There were other good games out there. Like, if it was doo-doo, nobody would have played it. Just think for a second. If 2K25 dropped in 2020 during quarantine, would you have played that game as much as you played 20? No, you wouldn't, because this game is good, and this game could easily be somebody's 13th reason. And I'm not gonna lie and say quarantine didn't contribute at all, because of course it did. It kept us all at the crib and brought all the bros out. But you trying to discredit 20's greatness because of quarantine is like saying bronze ring in the bubble isn't a real ring, when in fact, it was harder to win that one than the regular one, because they were in a gym all alone with no no fans and not nearly as much pressure, causing people to play out of their minds, like TJ Warren, who was getting MJ comparisons in the bubble. And guess what? Ever since then, we've never seen this dude. I don't even know if he's in the NBA anymore. But anyways, yeah, saying that quarantine completely carried this game is like saying that ring doesn't count, which is not true. All in all, the community in 2K20 just felt more alive and together. Next up, we have the obvious comparison, 2K20 versus 2K16. The only other 2K that can really compete against 20 for this spot. Now I'll say this, when it comes to the park and the community and all that, you could arguably say either one is better. But when it comes to gameplay, which is ultimately the most important part, there is no way you're choosing 16 over 20, bro. Like at that point, you might have to get a pregnancy test because the glazing is getting out of hand. Because in 20, you needed skill and IQ to dominate. You weren't going on a 10 game off of luck or some nonsense. But in 16, you didn't have to green to make shots, you had park cards and no contest system, which means you could pretty much cheese your way through a game with no skill as long as you have a park card and Mike Wang on your side. Meanwhile, 2K20 has the best defense out of any 2K ever created, and 99% of the time you have to green every shot. Not to mention, the gameplay is just smoother because it came out at a more recent date. Overall, you could debate that 16 had a better vibe or 20 had a better vibe. It depends on who you ask, and I understand that. But 100%, when it comes to the gameplay, which is the foundation of it all, you can't tell me 16 is better than 20. With all that being said, I'm gonna leave it there for now. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think 2K20 is the best 2K of all time, or am I tripping? Let me know down below and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.